Welcome in. Take a seat, grab a snack.
We're going to have a little gossip sesh. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Romi.
And this is Baddie Behaviour. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Baddie Behaviour. We now have a new setup.
Yeah.
We've moved filming locations. We painted a mural on the wall.
Beautiful mural.
And before we jump into the point of this episode, we wanted to just have a quick little chat about what has happened this last month.
Yeah, a little update. We had first one episode that just did not wanna be exported at all.
Plus the audio never worked.
The audio didn't work. Then the episode did not wanna get exported, so we were like, okay, whatever. We'll deal with that.
I didn't feel too personally attached to that episode anyway, so I was like, it's fine, whatever, we'll can that.
But then we had our first episode here, but without the mural painted.
But with the couch.
And that episode disappeared off the face of the earth.
And we both really liked that episode, so I'm actually sad about that one being gone.
And my dog, who passed away a few weeks ago, was on it, so I'm very sad about that. But if you randomly see at some point an episode in this setup but without this in the background,
it was I also feel like that episode was a really, not only do I feel like the content was good, we also updated on a little mental health check-in, which kind of explained the vibes that were happening the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of the 3 episodes that currently exist at the time of us recording this are very haha, goofy, silly, fun, drinking. And then the 2 we filmed in between were a little bit more serious, and they've now disappeared.
Yeah.
So we just decided that instead of giving up or sitting here crying too long about those episodes, hopefully that one somehow reappears, because that would be really good.
Yeah.
But if not, we're just going to press on, because September here in Uruguay is Pride Month.
Or as we call it, Diversity Month.
Yeah. Well, Month of Diversity, if you want to directly translate. But so for the whole of September, we want to do Pride or diversity themed episodes. Today, obviously, just with the 2 of us, but for the rest of the month, or at least the next couple episodes, we're going to try to have a couple guests on. We've actually already filmed one of the episodes, and we're going to be filming another one tonight. So very excited about that, just to share as many different perspectives as possible, and, I don't know, put some fun things out there into the universe.
Yeah.
Well, before we jump in, do you have any other update? I mean, obviously, it has been maybe not obviously to the people who, if you for some reason found this podcast and don't know us personally, then maybe you are unaware, but this last month and a half, 2 months, 6 months has been
whole year
have been kind of all over the place. Specifically lately been quite low, with a lot of loss, a lot of change.
Yeah.
And I know we don't want to dwell on that too much for this episode, but obviously Gypsy passing was a big one. That was terrible.
And little Taylor.
And little Taylor as well. Taylor the guinea pig.
Taylor the guinea pig, and Gypsy the little dog that we found.
Yeah.
She was with us for a month before she passed.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were, and they were 3 days apart from each other.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, something was happening and it was not good.
No.
So I guess for today, we didn't have too strong of a plan of what we wanted our first September episode to be, because we kind of wanted to just sit and intro into what the rest of the month is going to be, because if you are not Uruguayan, maybe you didn't even know that September here is Pride Month, because again, we talked a little bit about this in the episode that will come out in a couple weeks, but most places around the world now do Pride in June, which is not the case here. Has it always been September, as far as you know?
It's always been September. Lately, we are like joining in and doing some pride things in June.
Mm.
But it's not like we moved it. We just like added on. Like, okay, why not have 2 Pride months?
Yeah.
But the like Pride parade, which is like the March here, we do in September.
And they typically, like, the big Montevideo sign is all painted out in rainbow. That's always
Yeah.
fun.
In the main avenue, all the street lights are like rainbow.
Yeah. So they do quite a few like little things, and then obviously like the big march. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's always a good time, and
It's always very gay.
I feel like it's been so long since we've like sat down. Like, it hasn't even been. We literally recorded an episode a week ago, but I feel so out of sorts because we haven't posted an episode in a while. But I also wanted to mention that we are going to be opening up like a forum, not a forum necessarily, but like like a place where you can send in either stories or questions if you want advice on things. So that will be linked in the show notes or the description box, and we'll post it over on the Instagram as well. So if you're not already following all the socials, definitely go and do that, because it will be very fun for the rest of maybe October, November, December, whenever we do our next couple non-Pride episodes, to be able to incorporate some, I don't know, instead of just getting stories from Reddit, I think it'll be more interesting to get more local stories, more specific things, or to be able to do like advice episodes. I think will be very fun. So check that out if you are interested. But for the rest of today, again, we're feeling the vibes are a little off, but we're trying our best to record in the middle of the day when we weren't necessarily ready to do this.
I look white, like the wall, because the sun is hitting me.
Yeah, it's also randomly really warm today. It's like 22 degrees, and it's still technically winter for a couple more days, but here we are.
We have a little summer.
Okay, well, summer's a little dramatic, but spring.
I hope this was summer. I hope this was summer, and like
we're gonna have to swap
nothing
sides.
Hot, nothing hotter than this, please, ever.
When it comes to summer, we're gonna have to change filming setups, or like only record in the middle of night, because there's no way you could sit there in the sun.
Yeah, but the point was to record at night.
Yeah,
we're just doing it because we don't have
time. We're not gonna have time tonight to record 2 episodes. Okay, so back to the theme of Pride. I guess it's always kind of awkward to talk just about yourself, but I know, and maybe some people who know me, I feel like anyone who's met me in the last 5 years would know this, but anyone who maybe knows me from Australia maybe doesn't. But I mean, I've known for quite a while that I'm bisexual, but it's not something that is like super I don't know. I feel like if you know me now and you're friends with me now, it's like hella obvious, but I'm not like posting about it everywhere. I'm in a monogamous relationship with a man, so it's like from a distance, you might just be like, oh, straight couple, like that's it. Not think twice about it. But surprise, I'm bi, if you're listening, Mom. I never really felt the need to come out, and I know that's a huge privilege that not a lot of people have. And obviously if things had gone differently, I always wonder, not always, but I have often thought since moving here, like I wonder if I grew up here, if I would have come out sooner, if it would have been more obvious. Because growing up in Australia, at least where I'm from in Adelaide, it wasn't like bad to be gay, but it was still kind of like, I'll be 30 in like a month. So I was born in 1995. So when I was going through school, it was like the mid to late 2000s, 2010s. And it was kind of like, like being gay was like, a gay man was like, oh, you know, quirky, fun. But to be like a lesbian was like a negative thing. Like, I don't even know what, like, I don't know if that was just like an age range thing. I don't know if that was because I went through Catholic school, but it's not like we ever really heard anything from the teachers. Like, it wasn't like a pray away the gay school. It was just like we went to school and the school happened to be a Catholic school, but not even every day did we do prayer in the morning. It wasn't like that religious. It was just like a better school than the public school. But I don't know. It was like a weird, I mean, I would love to hear in the comments if in other parts of the world or other countries, other cities, like other time periods as well, like if it's different now, because nowadays, even in Australian media, I feel like we see a lot more representation of different, like diverse sexuality as well as diverse people of all kinds. But back when I was younger, that just like didn't exist. Like there was not a single, like I can't remember seeing positive representation of like queer women on the TV, like literally at all.
Yeah, I like we don't have that. We have a lot more now, but we didn't have a lot of like media in general that's like Uruguay, and most of our things were like from Argentina.
Yeah.
But even then, even when it was a little bit more conservative back then, there were like a lot of gay men mostly that were like just TV show hosts and stuff like that. There were like two very prominent like trans women in like the entertainment industry in Argentina. One of them sadly like passed away really young, but she was like the first sort of like celebrity that was a trans woman. Her name was Crismino. And yeah, she like was I think one of the first ones to like be really seen in the media. You know, she like went through a lot of like interviews, and sometimes we see clips on Instagram and stuff like that of
like weird questions.
Weird questions, yeah, especially like with on an interview she had with Mirta, which is like one of the big interviewers in Argentina.
And was this like quite a few years ago? Like when was she first famous? Like
are we
like talking
the
like
90s?
10 years? Okay, so like a good like 30 years ago.
Yeah. And Mirta Legrand is known for like asking weird questions in general and very invasive. There's like this iconic one that's like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but why did you kill your, I don't know if it was brother or father or something like that, to an interviewee? It was, yeah. I'll insert the clip right here, actually, if I can find
That's crazy.
Estés nervioso, que no te voy a poner nervioso ni te voy a hacer pasar un mal momento. Te lo puedo asegurar, te lo puedo asegurar. No es mi estilo ni mi costumbre. Pero te quiero preguntar, por ejemplo, ¿por qué mataste a tus padres?
No, it's so funny, and she's like so old. She's like 90 something, and she's still like at it. Oh, it's crazy. Then we have like Flor de la B, which is like, she does a lot of theater, but she also does a lot of like just talk shows and stuff like that. You know, Argentinian media is very much like gossipy and like drama and stuff like that. So we did have like, we had no like lesbian representation, but there was like queer representation.
I feel like at least having the trans representation, I feel like is a big step up. And maybe I'm crazy, like maybe in Australia there was something that I just wasn't aware of, but I feel like maybe now there's a little bit of trans representation in media, but not very much. Like, definitely a lot more queer and like of, you know, more diverse than it was when I grew up, but it was very much like being a gay man in theater or in media was kind of like fine, but for a woman it was like, okay, keep that to yourself.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, it's not like there was this representation, but the comments people made about like both of these women, like they were very much like transphobic a lot of the time.
I can imagine.
But also a lot of the time like just a product of its time and using wording that now we know is not right, but at the time it was like common.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gotten slightly better. I again cannot speak for that experience, but I feel like we're seeing a lot more like representation, especially like now in Uruguay. A lot more like there's even people in power, like the Ministry of Human Rights. It's led by a trans woman.
That's
So,
like a very recent thing that like has happened in the last year, I believe, right?
Yeah. But yeah, growing up, I was very fortunate that my parents are super open, and they're like, I mean, you can be religious and not be an asshole about like LGBTQ plus stuff, but it's, I feel like, easier to find that with people who aren't religious. And both my parents, like, my mom would describe herself as agnostic. My dad is an atheist, so they were always very open. Like, my dad, my whole life was like, you know, when your parents are like, oh, whenever you have a boyfriend, he was always like, whenever you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. My mom was more so like thinking I was straight. Like, I didn't have to come out to my dad, but I did have to come out to my mom. But it was like hey, I'm bi. And then she was like, okay, sure, but come take care of the dogs. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Glad we had that chat.
Glad it's out there. But yeah, my identity is a little bit more complicated than that, because like, I'm bi, but like mostly leaning towards women, but also I'm a romantic, which is a whole thing, and I always have to explain it, and it's weird and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do an episode about that, because
honestly, I feel like we'd have a lot to talk about, because even like I was, when you said it, I was kind of like, okay, but like it wasn't until you kind of like explained it a little more that I was like, okay, now it like I understand what you mean by it, because at face value it's kind of like, oh well, okay, you just like are not interested in anybody. It's like, no, anyway, it's complicated.
It's a complicated thing that should like take a whole episode, because also always, like, whenever you see a romantic, it's usually like linked with asexual, which is not the same thing. There are people who are both, but
or you could be one or the other,
but like there's been this recently, people have been more aware of asexuality, but not of like aromantic people. And it's like, okay, whatever. And so you have to explain it, then you have to like not be believed most of the time.
And it's like, do you want to bring it up to someone if you know that they're, or if you assume that they're probably not gonna get it, and then you have to explain it, and then they're gonna like gaslight you into like,
like you just haven't met the right person. Which is like,
like,
are you hearing yourself? That's what people used to tell like gays and lesbians back then. Like,
it's like, you're actually 30 years old almost. You've met a lot of people. Like,
I am like pretty sure. Like, trust me. I wish I wasn't.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like people need to. I don't know why people are so set on like questioning people when they like, if someone tells you something about themselves, like, why would they be lying?
Yeah.
Like, why would you not just be like, okay,
it's,
like,
it's not even lying. It's like, I know better than you what
like,
you are and what you're feeling. And like, it's just very hard. We could do a whole episode about that, actually.
And exactly, like, I have a complicated, I guess, history when it comes to LGBTQ things, just in the sense of like I was saying, growing up, my family is not overly religious, but I did go through the Catholic schooling system just because it was cheaper than private school in Australia and a much better school than my local public school. But my mum's mother, I believe, was raised more like Catholic values wise, but she has a gay son who she, as far as I'm aware, has always loved and accepted for who he is. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe back when he was younger, that was harder for her. I don't know. But my uncle, I guess, he didn't live, I never grew up with him in the same town as us. Like, he didn't live in the same city or the same state. He lived in Sydney and I grew up in Adelaide. So it's not even like living here and your uncle being in Buenos Aires. It's more like being in Santiago or something.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't have money, you're not going to be able to go and like visit. Like I didn't really know him that much, and I don't know at what age I was like aware that he was gay. I just knew that he was my uncle that I didn't really know.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know at what point it was like, oh, he's not in a relationship with a woman because he has a boyfriend. Like I don't know where in the timeline that like became clear to me. So it's not that my family would have ever had an issue with me being any kind of queer. I just like, I think it was more like a society thing. Like I went to an all-girls school for middle school, and it was like an insult was like, oh, she's a lesbian. And I'm like, why did we do that? That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know that I ever really like consciously thought that that was true, but it was still something that was said. And I was like, I hate that that's like a thing that happened, and that like I probably referred to people who maybe were lesbians as lesbians in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who the fuck is that person? Like I can't even fathom that the person who said that is me.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. And that was like what, like 15 years ago, but still. Like that's just wild.
Yeah.
So things have changed. Things have developed a lot, and I think now around, well, not around the entire world, unfortunately, but here and also in Australia, and I mean, the US is a whole story on itself right now, but neither of us are from there, so we're just gonna sail on past that. But nowadays, the representation is so much better, and as well as like not having much representation at all back when we were growing up, now it's very much like you're not just gay or straight or bi. It's like there are all these other things that I didn't even know existed. Like as a young person, I didn't even really know what being trans was. The word, like there were slurs thrown around for people who were like, you know, oh, you're just cross-dressing, or like a shortened version of the word trans that I'm not going to use. Things like that were kind of like thrown here or there, but I didn't really understand what it meant until I was like almost an adult. Yeah. And now I feel like people are so much more like, it's like with like LGBTQ plus, like that plus is really important. And I feel like a lot of people can just, I don't know, like there's a whole big spectrum of people who are like either yay, or not even yay, but like celebrating and like proud of all identities. And then I know we've talked about this personally, it's like the people who are maybe identify as being gay, but they still are like weird about trans people. Yeah. Or like bi erasure. It's like, oh, well, if you're bisexual, like a bisexual woman is always going to end up with a man, and a bisexual man is always going to end up with a man. Yeah. It's like, everyone's going to end up with a man. It's like, I've heard that so many times, and it's like, okay, well, one, I happen to be with a man, but like that doesn't mean I'm not still bi. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. And like, why, I just can't imagine like why people care about what other people, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I just, thankfully, because I did see like representation, like it's always, like I've always been aware, like what I was saying, like this trans women in Argentinian TV, they were around, they were like on a lot of shows, so I was like, oh, that's what it is, like that is what a trans person is. And I from an early age was aware that that was a thing, and it was like normalized from a very young age. Yeah. I remember like even like same with like gay people, like I always knew that gay people like existed. And I remember like hearing someone in like TV say something about heterosexuality, and me going up to my mom like, Mom, what's heterosexuality? Yeah. Because I knew what homosexuality was. Yeah. I did not know what heterosexuality meant.
Gross.
I was like, Mom, what are straight people? I'm scared.
Honestly, same. It's funny how things, or like individuals and also just like society, can change in kind of a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And it'll be really interesting to like look at this in, I don't know, like 30 years and see like, okay, like now hopefully things are even better in the future. But
when we're in our 60s.
Crazy. Yeah, in 30 years, I'll be turning 60. Wow. This will still exist, this video, somewhere.
Somewhere maybe in your link. The chip in our brains.
Yeah, that don't freak me out.
But yeah, basically, we just wanted to explain why we've been gone, what happened with that, and sort of introduce this month's theme. And hopefully we will not lose any more footage.
Yeah, we have a system now, and again with this new setup, we've also, the way we record is different. So instead of having to stop every 20 minutes and reset things, it will now just record as one big file. So...
And everything's together, the audio, it's just gonna be so much easier.
Yes, so fingers crossed there are no more errors, because I think that's what is so annoying to me about last week's episode, is that we recorded everything correctly.
Yeah.
We had over an hour of footage. We saw that it was on the laptop. It definitely recorded and saved, and then it just 1 week passed and it no longer was there.
Yeah. So... And other footage we had from the same day was there.
Yeah. Our test video was there. But full episode was not.
Gone. So, I don't know what happened.
But that will not happen again. Knock on wood. So at the time of watching this, if you have any questions or things you would like us to cover before the month is up, let us know in the comments. We have already recorded, or by the time you're seeing this, we'll have already recorded 3 out of the 4 episodes. We still have 1 more episode to go that we have not fully planned yet. So it could go one of 2 ways, if we get a third guest or if we just sit down with the 2 of us, but that will be a Spanish episode. So that will be fun. Like I said, we are going to be setting up the place for user submissions, I guess, a submission box of some sort. So I'll make sure that is ready by Thursday when this episode comes out. Any last words?
Any last words?
Any last words? I know I keep saying that, but it feels so dramatic.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts for today's episode? I know this is a little shorter than our previous ones.
Yeah, just a little update. Just be gay, do crime.
Yeah. Right. This is a meme that I've seen. I think I've sent it back and forth. I don't know if Thomas sent it to me first or if I sent it to him. But it's like, if you're not at least a little bit gay or autistic, like, I don't even want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have to be full autistic or full gay. But, like, if you're neither, then, like, you're probably boring.
Yeah. Like, what do we have to talk about?
What are we going to do? Sit around and, like, talk about finances?
I think I have, like, one straight friend.
I don't even know any. I mean, I have, like, I think my sisters are both straight, but I've never actually asked. I have straight people.
But, like,
somewhere.
Not family, like, friends.
Again, I think at least one of my friends is at least straight. Well, unless she's changed her mind on that, who knows? But yeah, typically it's a lot easier and like more fun for me to be friends with someone who's at least a little fruity.
Yeah.
If you're too straight, like, and again, if you're straight in like a, oh my God, I'm so tragically straight, like I wish I was, and then I'm like, oh, you're funny.
Yeah.
But if you're just like straight, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note,
we will see you next week.
Yes.
With our first special guest of the month.
Yes, exactly. So be prepared for guests, for fun, for more gayness. And we will see you next Thursday with a brand new episode. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, besos.